Some songs don't just play, they stop the room. They pull you into a moment you didn't expect, a feeling you thought you'd forgotten, a memory you didn't know was still breathing. Tonight, we're digging into the kind of soul records that didn't just chart, they changed people. Songs that hit once, hit hard, and never left the culture again. Some were born in tiny studios, some in pain, some in pure joy, and one track at the very top, it shook its own creator so deeply, he never performed it again. So settle in, because the deeper this list goes, the heavier the impact gets. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear number 1. Number 12, Flashdance. What a Feeling by Irene Cara, 1983. This is ambition turned into sound. The early 80s were full of neon dreams and movie montages, but few records captured the feeling of becoming more than yourself, quite like this one. The synths don't sit in the background, they tremble with a heartbeat's urgency, almost anxious, as if they know something big is coming before you do. Giorgio Moroder builds the arrangement slowly, stacking layers the way a dancer wraps tape around her ankles. Cara starts soft, nearly whispering, as if she's testing whether she even belongs in the world she's describing. But with every bar, she climbs. Moroder's production keeps lifting her, creating a ladder made out of voltage and anticipation. The drums don't simply enter, they strike right before the high note, like a push between the shoulder blades that sends you running toward your own momentum. The song spent 6 weeks at number 1, but the real story lived underneath. The battle that came after. Cara co-wrote the track, poured herself into it, then had to fight for the royalties she was owed. She won a quieter victory, but one that reframes every triumphant note. Number 11, Use Me by Bill Withers, 1972. This is honesty wrapped in a grin. Early 70s soul was full of pleas, apologies, and confessions, but Bill Withers chose a different route. He took the mess of a toxic relationship and walked through it casually, as if he were telling a friend something embarrassing, but true. The bass line doesn't try to hide anything, it belches its way forward, leaning into the swagger of someone who knows the situation is bad, but can't pretend it isn't fun. The organ swirls in and out like a slow conversation partner, nodding along with each admission. Withers delivers every line with that quiet, conversational tone he mastered, not begging, not complaining, just acknowledging. You hear the smile in his voice, even as he describes being taken advantage of. What makes the track unforgettable is the negative space. The band pulls back between verses, letting silence become part of the rhythm. Those gaps land like glances across a dim bar, small windows where the truth breathes heavier than the music. Until you use me up. It peaked at number 2 on both the pop and R&B charts. But the real success is how it feels at midnight, after the party ends, when the air is still warm and you're admitting something you probably shouldn't. Keep on using me. From this smirking acceptance of late-night choices, we slide into a record built for movement, not contemplation, a track that reshaped itself until the world finally caught up.
Oh, you just keep on using me.
Number 10, Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez, 1979.
Find a place to stop and settle down.
This is disco built from reinvention. The song began life years earlier as a rock sketch, half-formed and overlooked. The kind of idea artists shelve because the world isn't ready. Hernandez held on to it anyway.
Yes, we were born.
5 years later, the climate shifted. Dance floors were glowing again, and he reshaped the entire track into something electric.
It's good to be alive.
The transformation shows it moves like a record that had to fight its way into existence.
To be alive. To be alive.
The beat hits with that steady four-on-the-floor inevitability, a pulse designed to unify bodies, not individuals.
I'm not man. Yes, we were born.
Hernandez doesn't float atop the track. He rides it with urgency, like he's trying to keep pace with the force he unleashed.
Suitcase and an old guitar and something new to occupy my mind.
You can feel the pivot from rock's hesitation into disco's immediacy in every measure.
Yes, we were born.
And right on the edges of this reinvention sits a near miss that changed pop history, a young Madonna auditioning to dance behind him before becoming her own phenomenon. It's a reminder that eras turn quickly, and sometimes the hinge is just a single choice. It hit number 1 on the disco chart, climbed into the pop rankings, and earned gold and platinum awards in more than 50 countries. Not because it was complicated, but because it was alive in the simplest way. From this global dance floor ignition, we ease into a groove that trades the club's chaos for something warm, thoughtful, and grown. Speak without raising her voice.
Fool around just like you do.
The track carries the weight of that decision. It doesn't rush, it doesn't strain, it settles into a groove that feels like clarity after a long misunderstanding.
Times have changed from yesterday.
The bass line walks patiently, choosing step over stride.
Standards be accepted by
The keyboards shimmer in soft layers, giving the entire record a warm glow instead of a sharp shine.
can fool around just like you do.
Parker sings with a firm gentleness, shaping each line as if he's guiding the listener back to balance. Number 8, Lean on Me by Bill Withers, 1972.
Times in our life, we all
This is community turned into a single line of melody. Withers wrote it after leaving the coal towns of West Virginia, realizing the depth of what he lost.
have pain. We all have
That longing shaped every measure, not nostalgia, but recognition. The record offers comfort not as romance, but as survival.
always tomorrow.
The piano riff is simple on purpose. It announces itself like a neighbor knocking gently on your door, not demanding entry, just reminding you that you're not alone. Switzerland, built on drum machines that sounded more industrial than human, and strange enough to feature David Bowie on hand claps. The track was engineered to feel out of place. That was the point. The drum machine hits with mechanical precision, a pulse without breath.
Pop music, talk about pop music, pop.
Synths squeal and chirp like circuitry waking up, the opposite of soul's warmth, but irresistible in their novelty.
Now you know what to say. Talk about.
Robin Scott sings as if floating above the dance floor, detached, amused, handing out instructions nobody asked for.
Pop music.
The hook repeats with an almost taunting persistence. It doesn't charm you, it infiltrates. The more it loops, the deeper it settles. The entire record feels like someone took disco's architecture and rebuilt it using cheaper, stranger materials.
Wherever you are.
It hit #1 in the US, #2 in the UK, and arrived 2 years before MTV, but somehow predicted its entire visual aesthetic.
Down to the supermarket. Dig it in the fast lane.
Listen for the hook that nags instead of explodes. That's the genius.
Song again. I can't get jumping jack. I want the whole get back.
From this mechanical edge, we glide back into warmth, a Philly soul masterpiece made from patience and pride. Number 6, Be Thankful for What You Got by William DeVaughn, 1974. This is humility turned into a groove. DeVaughn was designing sewers for the government when he spent $900 of his own savings to record this track. That context reshapes the entire listening experience. This is the sound of someone making art because they need to, not because anyone asked. The vibraphone shimmers like sunlight drifting across the hood of a slow-moving car. The bass line strolls with unhurried confidence, a walk that says everything worth having is already here. Philly's legendary MFSB session players give the track its signature sophistication: clean lines, gentle warmth, purposeful restraint. The message carries the same energy: pride without threat, calm assertion instead of anger. It became shorthand for decades, sampled and referenced endlessly because its core feeling that self-worth doesn't need material proof never ages. It topped the R&B chart, climbed into the pop top 10, and moved nearly 2 million copies without raising its voice. Listen for the vibraphone, it floats above everything like a blessing. From this sunlit front porch confidence, we drift towards something brighter, sharper, and wrapped in MTV-era polish. This is romance dressed in synth sheen. Before it became a hit, it lived another life as European queen, unnoticed and unresolved. Wet pavement. Oh thump, blending human heat with electronic polish. He doesn't rush, he glides. The production feels like the early MTV era, learning how to seduce instead of shock. The video cemented Ocean as a well-dressed romantic figure, sharp suits, smooth edges, storytelling delivered through camera glances and stage presence. Wearing a new face. Number 4, Check Out Your Mind by The Impressions, 1970. This is soul stepping through a mirror. Curtis Mayfield, on the brink of going solo, uses the wah-wah pedal like a doorway into another dimension. The sound is unmistakably Chicago soul. But everything is tilted, warped, just enough to feel exploratory. Strings move like a movie score, dramatic and sectioned, telling parallel stories around the vocal. Horns punch and scatter, quick bursts of color, and then there's the guitar, wiry, spindly, unapologetically forward. Not tucked into the mix, but thrust out front like a thesis statement. You can hear Mayfield testing ideas he would later explode on his Superfly soundtrack.
Check out your mind. Check out your mind.
Psychedelia without chaos, consciousness without preaching. The groove is smooth, but the edges are sharp enough to wake you up. It peaked at number 3 on the R&B chart, not because it was simple, but because audiences were ready for a shift.
No matter what you see me do.
Its intensity wasn't loud, it was inquisitive. Listen for the wah-wah guitar. It's a question disguised as an instrument.
Trust in me and I in you.
From this experimental edge, the countdown moves into post-disco sophistication, polished, patient, irresistible.
Won't you check out your mind?
Number 3, Take Your Time, Do It Right, by the S.O.S. Band, 1980. This is discipline disguised as dance music. Post-disco Atlanta was finding its voice, and this track became its statement: clean, structured, muscular, without bragging. Strings float like soft waves. Mary Davis sings with steady confidence, turning simple lines into small revelation. One in a Million You by Larry Graham, 1980. This is vulnerability from a man known for force. Larry Graham, father of the slap bass technique, chooses a different path here.
But one day the sun
He sets down the weapon that defined his career and sings with a gentleness that feels disarming.
can't win.
Strings and keyboards form a lush bed, not overwhelming, not ornamental, just enough to cradle his voice.
Someone was saying
There's patience in every measure, a willingness to let silence do part of the work.
to see.
The label panicked at first. How do you market a funk legend singing a slow, tender confession?
Show compassion.
But the record found its audience immediately. It became a quiet storm essential.
And lie.
The kind of song that plays during slow dances, long drives, and nights when the world finally goes quiet.
I was a lonely man with empty arms.
It hit number 1 on the R&B chart, climbed into the pop top 10, and revealed another side of a musician people thought they already knew. Listen for the soft string pads that rise behind his voice like warm air.
Is to live.
And from this deep tenderness, we arrive at the summit, a song that didn't just define an era, but carried a movement.
For to love you to me.
Number 1, A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke, 1964.
But I know
This is prophecy in melody. Cooke wrote it after being arrested for demanding service at a Louisiana Holiday Inn, a moment where anger and dignity collided.
but I'm afraid.
You can feel both emotions occupying the same breath throughout the track. Renee Hall arranges the song like a compressed symphony.
A long time coming.
Strings move in their own arc, horns in theirs, timpani carrying the bridge like footsteps approaching something monumental.
It's been a long
It's not a pop record. It's a cinematic declaration bound into 3.5 minutes.
downtown.
Cooke sings with a calm ache, not shouting, not pleading. The restraint makes the message heavier. He performed it live only once, admitting later that the song scared him.
A long time
It sounded bigger than him, as if it arrived through him rather than from him.
round. It's been a long.
Released as a B-side just 11 days after his death, it never hit number 1, but it became immortal anyway.
Brother.
It attached itself to civil rights marches, speeches, and generations of artists who kept pulling its meaning forward.
Then I go to my
Listen for the swell before the final line.
son. And I said,
It's the moment the entire world seems to inhale at once. This isn't just a number 1. It's a reminder that soul music can hold memory, history, grief, and hope simultaneously and still rise.
downtown.